What is the dumbest thing you've ever done while you were high? One time when I was in high school, my mom went grocery shopping and of course I used her time away to smoke a joint. When she came back with the groceries, she called me out to the car to help bring them inside. I put some Vaseline in, slipped on my flip-flops and headed for the car. As I'm bringing the groceries in maybe 2-3 bags at a time, I'm bringing them all the way to my bedroom instead of the kitchen. My mom locks the car, walks in the kitchen and says, "Where the hell are the groceries?" I'm standing there eyes bloodshot because the Vaseline didn't kick in yet like, oh shit. I was typing on the computer and kept trying to make the numbers uppercase because I couldn't figure out why I was just getting percent, plus. This one time I was in front of my TV watching comedians in cars getting coffee. I had my bong on the coffee table between me and the TV. I am seeing Jerry Seinfeld driving someone in New York and suddenly I can see a cop car joining their lane behind them. I quietly and slowly took the bong down on the floor so the cops can't see it. Once I was looking at the moon and I was just noticing the details in it, and I took a step forward to get a closer look like a dumbass. The bouncer at the entrance of the club put his arms out to indicate that I should do so for him to pat me down. Instead he wanted a hug so I hugged him. I got super blazed one night near the beginning of pandemic lockdown, and went across the street to the drugstore to get some chips and such. As I approached the automatic glass doors I saw a person standing on the other side, so I waited for them to come through. I stood there waiting for what felt like an eternity. I was getting frustrated. Like, what's up with this clown? Can't they see I'm waiting for them? Then I realized it was just my reflection. I microwaved cheesecake because stoned me found it odd that it was always served cold and not hot like it should be. And on a related note, piping hot cheesecake will take those munchies away real quick. A sober friend put the other high guy's phone in my bag. I found it funny so I left it there. I completely forgot and took it home with me. Later on an alarm goes, so I go investigate and then find the phone. Tried to tell the guy and called his phone. The phone that was in my hand. I convinced myself that I could really walk and it was just mind over matter, and despite my boyfriend and friends telling me not to, I rose up from my wheelchair and promptly fell under the pub table. I was covered in bruises, and I had a sore bum for days. My boyfriend and his best mate had to retrieve me from under the table. Needed to go into the gas station to get another Dutch. Noticed for whatever reason my best friend's boyfriend had a full chicken costume in the backseat. I decided it would be funny to wear just the mask into the gas station. Didn't realize how bad I fucked up till the girl at the register started screaming for the guy in the back room. They had just been robbed 2 weeks prior. Playing video games with my bro, split screen MW3. I'm absolutely crushing it, then I realized I'm looking at the wrong screen. My dude is in a corner moving and shooting the wall. Ate cat food. When I lived with my parents they had 2 cats. They would buy huge bags of cat food and put the food in a 5-gallon bucket with a lid and keep it in the garage. Usually to keep it safe from outdoor animals since it's the country and there is possum, raccoons, mice, and other small critters. Well, I got home one night from hanging out with friends and seen the bucket of food was open. I went inside and the self-feeder was close to empty, so I decided to refill it. When I went to the bucket of cat food I wondered if it was stale cause I wasn't sure how long the bucket of food was left open. So I ate a handful and chewed a couple times until I realized what the hell I was doing and spit it out. I still don't know if it was stale or not, it was just crunchy lol. I saw tiny bugs crawling over a little flower among the grass. I realized they had never heard music before, poor lil guys, so I put my phone next to the flower and gave them the concert of a lifetime. Was holding my cereal in one hand and phone in the other. Went to toss the phone on my bed, tossed the cereal instead. Almost gave myself hypothermia. While on a hike I picked up a big-ass rock to throw onto a frozen lake and break the ice. I decided to walk out onto the ice to throw it. Rock hit the ice broke, I fell in. Had to walk about 2 miles back to the car. I was high as a kite with some friends. I look up at the sky and I was in awe. There were dozens of shooting stars through the sky. About 2 minutes later I realized the stars weren't moving but the clouds were. I didn't feel so good so I asked my friend for a box, probably to puke in. He brings a box and I sit in it, proclaiming it solved all of my problems. I was frantically looking for my phone, which was in my hand the whole time. Not me but my sister, we were both high at the time. We were cooking dinner, can't remember the dish, I think it was poblano tacos with some Monterey Jack. Idea is, you hollow out the peppers, put the cheese inside, then put them over an open fire to char the pepper and melt the cheese. Well, while one was cooking, I was prepping another. I can't remember how long it was, but for a good min or so, I hear my name the cheese in a soft and quiet voice. Took me a bit to realize she was trying to get my attention, then I noticed one of the peppers was on fire while she was standing there, staring at the stove, still whispering, the cheese, and not doing anything about it. Pepper tasted great though. Once I was eating a burrito like a ravenous beast and straight up bit my own finger. Another time I was gaming and my hands were cold, as I can get bad circulation. Well, I sat there thinking, man, it would be great if they made socks, but for your hands, and thought I had a great idea. 10 seconds go by and then, oh yeah, gloves. Had a good laugh at myself for that one. Was with a group of friends with a bong in rotation, my turn in rotation, so I spark up. It was quite windy and I'm not the best, so it was taking me a bit. One of them said something that caught my attention, so I stopped what I was doing to say something. And then I went back to trying to spark up. For the life of me I could not get it. I was trying another 5 minutes and I'm thinking, why the fuck can't I do this? The wind ain't even blowing anymore. I was attempting to spark up an open water bottle which was a bit to the left of the actual bong. 2 of my friends were deadass watching the whole time thinking I was just fucking around, but no, I genuinely didn't even notice immediately. At least it gave all of us a good laugh. Not dumbest but laziest. I microwaved something and when I opened the door to get it, because it wasn't centered on the turning plate, it was a bit further from the door. So I closed it and restarted the microwave another 5s to get it closer to me, so I didn't have to reach so far back to get it. Laughed at the popcorn ceiling because they looked like nipples to me. I'm a 40-year-old woman. Was smoking in the car with my friends in the movie theater parking lot and my mouth got really dry. Interrupted my friend's conversation and yelled, "Guys, feel my teeth." I saw my reflection in a Ruffles chip and cried because I thought I looked too much like a frog. I forgot how 3D works. I was looking at a window and didn't realize why one part of the window was bigger than the other. Oh, because it's closer, yeah, makes sense. I went through the McDonald's drive-thru and ordered a large chocolate Coke. I do this all the time and it pisses me off. I get some juice or milk from the fridge, take the cap off and be like, oh, I forgot to shake this. Proceed to shake juice all over myself, kitchen floor and my dog. More milk has been poured into my German Shepherd's ears than she probably drank as a puppy. When Starlink first launched, my husband and I didn't know about it and were smoking a fat blunt up on the mountain. We looked at the sky and saw it and started losing our minds because we thought aliens were invading and the lights were their ships. Husband took a video of us losing our marbles because we were feeling impending doom, but then his brother called him a few minutes later to explain what it was and we felt like dumbasses lol. Edit. For those asking for the vid LMAO. The narration at the end is my fave. Had to edit out the first part because identifying info. Christmas about 3 years ago, I was home alone visiting my parents and got very high. The internet was being slow, so I tried crawling through a very small end table instead of moving it to get access to the router to reset it. I got stuck and in my efforts to free myself I knocked over a very ornamented Christmas tree. I left it knocked over and blamed it on the cat. Was also drunk, ran 1.5 miles in bare feet to a convenience store and fell asleep there. Oh, and my friends were also following me the whole time in a car, fighting me to get in the car. When I was in college I was super broke like most college kids. Like can't afford basics like shaving cream or toothpaste half time. I got high and went to an ATM to get some cash. I probably had $60 in my bank account and took out $40. But I was high and for some reason thought I requested $20 from the machine and got $40 dispensed. So, high dumbass me was afraid that I'd get caught, and goes into the bank, up to a teller and hands her $20 and said the ATM gave me too much. She was confused, since this literally never happens, and took my money. I shambled off like an idiot. ATMs don't give out extra money, lol. Rode a cow. I didn't know the cow. I'm sorry cow. I was on shrooms and tries taking photos of my hallucinations, person facepalming, light skin tone. Being high all the time made me ignore how unhappy I was and how toxic my last relationship was. I put the TV remote in the freezer while helping myself to a Chicago town pizza. I spent about half an hour looking for it, then found it when I went for the second pizza. Checked behind my paintings in the living room for hidden cameras because I was convinced the portraits had cameras where the lady's eyes are and that people, I don't know who, just people, were watching me laugh while I watched TV. Edit. Whoa, Thank you for the upvotes and awards, it made my day. Edit 2. I'm new here so I feel really special right now LMAO. Did meth once, didn't know it was meth, snorted it, well I was out of my mind on the phone to a sex line for God knows how long. It gets worse. As you can imagine I'm half rubbing one out the whole time so I aggressively and abrasively destroyed my penis. The second part is I spent about $700 on a phone call. The third, and most methy part is, I was stood by the window for better signal, and my wardrobe at the time had a screw hanging out of it. I didn't notice I was scratching into it for hours. I cut my side to pieces and didn't even feel it until the next day. Well, day after the next day because I was a paranoid mess for 24 hours or so. Do not recommend. Too long did not read. I was young and didn't know what cocaine was, found out what meth was though. Went to a restaurant and ordered a side salad for my entree salad because I forgot I had ordered a salad. Was with my best friend from college. We pulled into the drive-thru for some food. Got to thinking, man, this line is slow. I can only estimate we didn't move for 20 minutes. Turns out we were parked behind a work van without anyone in it, and they were inside doing some kind of remodeling. The worst part was, when we finally drove around to the speaker, they told us they were closed. It was the middle of the day and there were clearly other customers. We felt bested at the time and had no rebuttal, and retreated and cut our losses. Obligatory disclaimer. Don't drive high, kids. You got DoorDash and shit these days. Back then you had to smoke your way 15 miles through the snow to the nearest McDonald's. I was gonna go to work but then I got high. I tried to blow on my ice cream because it was too cold. Basically froze standing for 10 minutes straight looking at a bush. Told my friend who I was hosting that I will go fetch the last donut for her from the kitchen. 20 minutes later she decided to check on my whereabouts and saw me munching on the said donut in the kitchen. Washed my eye makeup off with nail polish remover. 0 tenths. Would not try again. 3 of us went to Dunkin' Donuts. Ordered 3 dozen. Left them all there on the counter and didn't notice until we got home. Had to go back. Because donuts. I had 2 lighters, one was transparent. I was lighting the bottom of the transparent one and watching the bubbles when I realized that it would explode. Took a shower and like 15 minutes later I couldn't remember if I took one so I took another. I did this 3 times before the wife asked me, "What the fuck are you doing?" Convinced myself I had Down syndrome. I was too stoned to listen to my partner talk, but too awkward to tell him so. I opted to slowly and gently rub his face with a new roll of toilet paper instead, hoping it would distract him into being quiet. It did not work.